point, we have a special guest, Chairman of the Peace Committee in Manipur, popularly known as Deepu Gangmai. He joins me from Manipur. Mr. Gangmai is an MLA from Nungba Assembly seat, and he is also the chairman of the Hill Area Committee. He contested elections for the first time in 2022 after taking voluntary retirement from the Indian Administrative Service. Thank you very much, sir, for joining me on this show. And let me begin this conversation by asking you, since you also hold this important task of bringing peace. After the violence, how have the conversations been? Were you able to get in touch with those who had taken very strong vertical positions in Manipur from various ethnicities?
Yes. We are in touch. We are keeping in touch till now. We have been discussing that, yes, some unwanted things has happened. It's due to the misunderstanding and the opportunity taken by the anti-state, anti-peace elements who trying to break up Manipur. So what happened has happened. Now the only way out for all of us is to have collective responsibility to sit down together, to put our heads together and thrust out any grievances or any demand as per the Constitution of India.
What is the biggest challenge, sir? Mr. Gangmai, I want to know from you, what is your biggest challenge as the chairman of the Peace Committee? And you also hold the portfolio of someone who is in charge of the hill areas.
It's not a challenge as such. The only issues is there are some kind of sort of distress between us. So we are trying to bridge that gap, and we have reached out to our fellow honorable members. But whatever, now the issue has become so chronic that some of the issues has been hijacked by anti-state, and which some of the external elements are involving in the issues. So it's a very complex issues in such a diverse state, not only in terms of ethnicity, it's in terms of language, religion, and history. So lots of homework needs to be done, and things are picking it up and going on the right direction. But somehow, some isolated incidents in some other district sometimes hampers the progress.
Mr. Gangmai, you said that issues are being hijacked. What issues have been hijacked?
The people who are in the hands of affairs, especially the elected members, they are not allowed to have a free hand in dealing with issues, which I have come across while conversing with our fellow members. So with this environment, it is very difficult sometimes to point out the real issues where we need to ponder upon.
So who are these elected members? Are they from the Kuki community, sir? Can you put some light? Who are these elected members?
So elected members from the Manipur Legislative Assembly. Things has gone in such a diverse state that they are forced by some of this we call CSOs or some of the elements not to come out openly with the ideas they have.
Why have CSOs become so important, sir? You have been part of the administrative services, the part of the Indian state. How come CSOs have become so important in Manipur and more powerful than elected members?
You know, the issues where, especially the Northeast, where diverse communities, they have all different aspirations. So somewhere down the lines, our allegiance towards our community is much more stronger than the institutions we are together.
Mr. Gangmai, are local elections possible in hill areas? Why? How come they were not organized after 2020? A lot of people said that it led to a lot of frustration.
Now, since the situation has improved, the government is trying to conduct an election. It has, the Honorable Chief Minister has put it even in the floor of the House that it will be conducted very soon.
When you say that the elections will be held very soon, how will you hold the elections there? There is a border which is running through Manipur. The state forces cannot go to hill. Those deployed in the hill areas cannot operate in the valley.
Katia, the problem is, this isn't the first time that Manipur is facing like this problem. So, since the politics has been played out because of these issues, things are making just like this is first time like these issues we are facing. We have faced multiple kind of these issues in the past history of Manipur, but we overcome all those things. Now the only thing is for the leaders of different communities and the elected leaders need to come out of the cocoon and need to put our heads together and trying to find a way out with the help of the union government who are cooperating with us, who are supporting through us through thick and thin.
Mr. Gangmai,
Yes.
there are a lot of articles, there are a lot of issues around Article 371C. There is a lot of discussion and debate happening. What is your point of view there?
Article 371C has been incorporated into Indian Constitution for the betterment of the Manipur to oversees the peace and progress and social harmony between the hills and valleys or amongst different communities. So the article itself doesn't have any issues, but only operational part. We are having certain issues with the operational part. I think with the coming of this government, we are trying to iron it out. Now the committee has become in the forefront. As we are talking about now, the peace initiative we are taking, we are communicating with the people. So the present government is trying the best to improve as much as they can to empower the hill areas community.
Mr. Gangmai, you said there are issues with the operational part. Can you just, it would be better if the people outside Manipur, if you can explain it to them, because a lot of people would not understand the nitty-gritty of the operational part of 371C.
It needs to deal with the whole issues now. As you know, the Naga peace talks is going on with the union government, and then the SU is going on, who is going on, and all those things. Coupled with all those things, we cannot isolated deal with the Article 371C. So all the communities are having talks with the establishment. So for this thing, we all need to come together, all the tribals, all the tribals, MLAs, and all the CSOs need to come together. What they really want to desire from the Article 371C.
Mr. Gangmai, the drone attacks have actually shocked the security establishment. How serious were these two drone attacks? How seriously is the state government looking at it?
From my perspective as a layman, we never expect this kind of technology or the warfare will be used against the innocent people. But I don't know how this has crept into. Last time I said some foreign elements has directly involved to escalate or to sabotage the peace process which we are undertaking, and so they don't want the state to keep on burning. So this thing, I think the establishment, the institutions which are capable of dealing with these issues are dealing with. I think the investigation is going on, and real thing, the truth will reveal in near future.
Mr. Gangmai, since peace is a two-way process, there are two very contentious issues which come up, sir. two very contentious issues. One is how do you demilitarize the hill areas and the valley areas simultaneously? And the second is the suspension of Sioux Accord, there is no clarity. How do you see it? How are you going about it?
I have seen, since I've been at the ground, in the hills or so, in valleys or so, this armament process has started with the help of the union government. All the armies and parliamentary forces and state forces are on the job, and things are picking up very well. But now the way out for coming together of the public leaders, it's a task of all the communities, the collective responsibilities for all of us to come together and to realize that violence will never bring solution, and there is no role, violence has no role in civilized and democratic society. And past history has taught us that when we have in 90s, we have multiple classes between different ethnic groups. But we came out from that crisis by sitting together and compromising and finding out a solution through dialogues.
Mr. Gangmai, can Manipur be properly demilitarized? Because now you have weapons everywhere.
Yes. With this kind of exercise, when now with the help of the central forces, with the active support of the union government and the state government, I think things are picking up, and people are trying to started realizing that there is no way out. Only peace needs to be there, and there are lots of people who have realized, especially the ordinary citizens of the state, want peace. They don't want to fight each other. But some of the fringe element, the leaders of radical groups, they have certain ulterior motive. So they still want to vitiate the situation, and we are facing with determined, with commitment that we'll be able to face with these anti-state forces.
Mr. Gangmai, very honest of you, but who are these fringe elements and who are these leaders who are behaving in the interest which is inimical to the state?
There are certain groups which are not willing to come to the table.
Who?
And with the connection.
Who? We must name them.
Militants groups.
Who?
Militants group.
Yeah, name of the organization.
It will not be wise to talk to me in to point out with certain groups. But as you are aware, there are lots of groups, but there are certain groups which are actively trying to support this peace process and trying to vitiate the situation to a higher level.
So what is state doing to ensure that these people do not run away and sabotage the peace process? So what is the state of Manipur doing to ensure that these people do not disturb the process which is started by you and the government in Manipur?
Now the condition has, the central government and the state government forces are putting in such a condition that they are difficult for them to breathe, and now I think they will give in.
Mr. Gangmai, do you feel that state forces need to be reorganized, central forces need to be redeployed? Is that necessary part of the peace process? Because I have seen in my 1.5 years of coverage, and you can enlighten me, sir, if I am wrong, that two communities support two particular security forces, and their popular opinion is determining their deployment, which I have not seen any other part of the country.
Here are some of the issues, Brother Katia. The problem is these issues, this crisis are not the making of the BJP or the Congress or any other communities, but they are trying to blame it on the government. Now the election is over. Now I'm appealing to all the civil organizations also and the political parties. Now election is over, and now it's time to pick up pieces and live together as one community for the future generation's sake. And if not, we don't have any way out. We don't have any option but to come together and live together. And people, other people trying to give false hope of breaking away from our union and all those sort of hopes of living pipe dreams. It's the public needs to be aware, and we, as a educated people, we are trying to make them aware that this thing will not happen. These are just issues which they want to prolong with the vested interest.
But Mr. Gangma, you know, Chief Minister tried his best to get the smaller communities together, the Mar community. In Jiribam, there was a, you know, there was a press release which came out, you know, but the larger communities, the Kuki community, they dissolved their local unit. You know, this is also like a counter pressure which is working. The Chief Minister tried his best, but then the counter pressure came and the local communities had to give in. I mean to say this is...
Yeah, well, the issues here is they want to blame everything on the Honorable Chief Minister. These issues are not his making. The drug menace is a real reality we are facing. The poppy cultivation is happening. The demographic changes, people coming from the porous borders, it's happening. We have all the data and all the evidences. So with all this problem, we are facing, now people are blaming just the administration. I don't think we cannot shy away from this reality. We need to, at the same time, we need to take the confidence of all the people and trying to solve these issues. But these issues cannot be swept away just because there is a certain crisis. The fringe elements are still taking advantage of the situation.
But sir, you know, you spoke, the first thing which you spoke, it has stayed in my mind. You said that the elected members are forced by CSOs not to come out with their own views. They should, and then you said elected members should come out. But I noticed, sir, in last two assembly sessions, the hill area MLAs did not attend the session. They boycotted it. How do you get them back? Because ultimately, election is the most important thing in the democratic. It needs to be respected.
Only few MLAs took leave. Most of the MLAs took part in the assembly session. I think you have been misinformed. All the MLAs from the Tamenglong district, Senapati district.
So how many MLAs did not come? Only few?
Only few. Due to their personal issues.
So are you saying that there is no boycott from the hill areas?
There is no boycott access from this side. They are taking leave. They are taking leave.
They're taking leave. But then, sir, then how is it not possible that they can come and sit together with their valley counterparts and talk about the peace process, something which you are dealing with? To make people come and part of the talk, because what has happened is that the opinion about each other, negative opinion about each other has been reinforced.
We are working on that one to come together. When the situation becomes conducive, we need to create a situation that we all need to come together and without any string attached, and we can talk frankly and we can express our views and we can find a way out.
So what is your opinion about, since there are talks on the SU agreement? The state has suspended these agreements. Should there be new terms, sir? Or should it be done away with?
We also support the peace, all the peace process in democratic society, in civilized society, and a modern India like this. When people want to come and talk, we should always support peace process.
But then how will you, yes, you are talking about peace process, but you also spoke about drugs, you spoke about guns, and you spoke about demographic change. And you are saying that this has really impacted Manipur, correct?
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yes.
So if drugs are an issue, poppy cultivation is an issue, demographic change is an issue, the other party says that this is not correct, then how do you resolve this issue?
These issues need to be dealt with certain clarity. This issue has been going on for the last so many decades, and we don't have one size fit for all solution. We cannot use a thumb rule. So in different mechanism and different levels of the administration, we need to work it out with certain policies. I think with this kind of conviction, we will be able to deal with these issues. And now the border fencing is has been approved, is going on. FMR has been cancelled or terminated. I think all these steps are going on the right direction. We should be hopeful that things will turn in positive way now.
So do you think that there should be a proper biometric mechanism so that people can know who are people indigenous to the state of Manipur and those who have come from outside?
Yes, yes, that's what we have been doing it, and we have been demanding also. The illegal migrants need to be identified. We have 32 indigenous tribe communities. These people have to be cannot be branded just because they have a common food habit or common language or whatever. So we need to have such a exercise, but it is a Herculean task. So I think lots of homework needs to be done, and it has been started. It has been started in identifying all those migrants, illegal migrants coming from the Burma side. Biometric has been taken. It has been identified. Some of the settlement has been identified, and now lots of these things are taking on. But once the situation normalized, I think this will pick up in the needed level.
But sir, when you say that the biometrics needs to be done, but how do you do it? Because it requires you to do some exercise in the hill areas. It requires you, the state officers,
Yes,
to operate
yes.
there.
That's what I think, that the situation need to be normalized for yielding desired results for in practical level in the field. So we need to create a conducive situation for identifying these illegal migrants and the indigenous people. And I think with the kind of progressing we are taking in this peacemaking, I think it will be possible very soon.
Mr. Kangmai, you spoke about a lot of issues. You spoke about empowerment. I want to understand from you, how did this idea of separate administration gain ground or came to political forefront suddenly? Where did it come from?
Yes, I was surprised. The first issue started from the scheduled tribe case, scheduled tribe case against Mitai in the High Court of Manipur. And then somewhere down the line, the issue started again from some separate administration and all these things. So sometimes now the separate administration, the Nagas against it, not only the Manipur government, they have the UNC has spoken openly about this. So we are opening multiple issues while looking at this demand.
But sir, you spoke about the tribal issue. Why did this violence take place? You know, the matter, there was an SLP on the 3rd May. I mean, so why did the matter go out of control? That issue was a judicial issue and nothing was happening at that point of time.
And initially what I have said is, now those rallies has taken place even in the Naga district, in rural district, in even on my own district. But somehow, I don't know, in Churachandpur, things has turned to such an extent that some elements has crept in and they created the situation into communal issues. And then since the mob cannot be controlled, so things has flared out and it has gone out of hand. But not because of scheduled tribe issues, or not because of Christians and Hindus. I think things has taken over by these certain elements which it's beyond our control.
Mr. Gangma, I let go of you. There is one thing which really, I would say, troubles me, and that is, repeatedly, whenever there are feedback or the bites which come in, people face this extortion issue. Whenever senior officer goes there, this extortion issue, how is the state tackling it? Because any peace has to come with sense of ordinariness. You have been an administrator, you would know, a sense of routine. I would say, how are you tackling this problem?
With the coming of this Modi ji, the peace process in the Northeast has started in such a way that everybody has started looking at the side of the development and progress. And now most of the militants groups are in talks with the government, and the peace process is progressing. And now here in Manipur, I think some of the elements are trying to sabotage this peace process. So with the coming of the BJP government, the extortion issues has reduced much, and we are, especially in my state, we have seen lots of development taking place. But suddenly these things have cropped up, and now we are facing this crisis.
And lastly, sir, do you think that at least by now this year is about to end, how much time do you think that some sort of a resolution can come out, a political resolution, sir, not a military resolution, some sort of a political resolution that dividing line, वो जो एक line जो खिंच गई है मणिपुर में, वो टूट जाएगी, लोग, people can go wherever they want to. आपके हिसाब से क्या होगा, कब तक हो सकता है, how much time will it take?
मेरा दिल बोला था कि मेरा लीडरशिप को, सेंट्रल लीडरशिप को, स्टेट लीडरशिप को विश्वास है. I have faith in them, and the 100 days agenda has been mentioned for the Manipur. It has been working on day and night. The Honorable Prime Minister and Home Ministers are keeping tab of it with the help of the certain establishment and institution. I hope this will get over very soon, and I appeal taking advantage of this platform to all the civil organizations, and especially the elected leaders. When the people who are in the jungles, who are living with guns, when they can come out and talk to each other, why can't we come out and talk to each other? Why can't we share our grievances openly? That will be the only solution, because in this kind of violence, most of the people who suffer are the weaker section, the children, the women, the students. And so without them, the future of the society is very bleak. So I appeal to all my fellow members, let's come together, let's come out, let's pursue our demands in constitutional means and in democratic ways. The Indian Constitution is such a good constitution that all our demands can be accommodated. So we can do it out in a constitutional manner.
यानी आपका कहना है कि लोग मिलके बात करके पीस, शांति बहाल कर सकते हैं मणिपुर में. दिल मिलने चाहिए, लेकिन उसके लिए दीपू गांगमई जी, पहले दिल मिले. तो दिल कैसे मिलाएंगे आप, दिल कैसे मिलाएंगे?
अपील करते रहते हैं हम लोग, बातचीत है, दोस्तों को फोन में करते हैं, मिलते भी है. एंड हम लोग क्या था कि certain just because of the scale of violence they have faced, they are little bit reluctant, but I think now things has changed, and with the intervention and the help and support of the union government under the leadership of Modi, I think people will started expressing out their views, and they are willing to come out and talk to each other.
And दीपू जी, वो बॉर्डर कैसे तोड़ेंगे आप? वो जो लाइन खींच गई है हिल और वैली की, उसको कैसे तोड़ेंगे?
It's just a matter of time. Now people started doing it, but they have apprehension है. it's not that people are frisking or people are stopping. It's apprehension है जाने के लिए because they have experienced that horror. In both sides have experienced the horror, so they are not able to overcome that kind of experience. I think with things going on like this, I think they will be able to overcome all those kind of distress between amongst the groups.
You know, Dipuji, at the end of this interview, I can only say thank you so much and best of luck to you, because you have been given such an important task. It's a task which comes with responsibility, and you have a burden on your shoulder. And I can only hope and pray for you that
I salute to all those police officers and army officers and personal security paramilitary forces who are working day and night to protect the innocent civilians and to protect a small step like my state, which is a part and partial and crucial part of the Indian Union. And salute all those soldiers who are sweating day and night out with sacrificing their life. It's my prayer that they all will be keeping fighting with the grace of Almighty.
I must end this. That was really an emotional appeal. All the best to you, sir. I hope you achieve your aim. I hope you achieve your aim quickly, and I hope to be part of that process in any way. That, you know, once you do that, I would love to travel, come to Manipur, be part of it, and report it there when you say that some sort of a reconciliation has happened. Thank you so much, sir. Because
you are most welcome. You are most welcome.
Because this is so much required. This is so much required because Manipur cannot bleed, continue to bleed like this.
Yes,
it's just not done. It cannot. We cannot allow it to slip into anarchy. We cannot allow Manipur to become a battlefield. We cannot allow it to become like any other insurgency hit area. It has to come out of it, and it has to come out of it with its integrity intact. That is my take.
Yes.
Integrity intact. People can have their autonomy, local election, but the integrity of the state has to be respected.
संविधान ने सब दिया. Constitutional means में ये demand कर सकता है. We don't need to resort to violence.
I mean, so you can do that, but when people say that the integrity of Manipur is also an important thing, and I think that needs to be respected. It's not. I would say personally, it's not a one thing. It's integral to Manipur's identity, and when you say it's integral to Manipur's identity, it needs to be respected. Other areas,
inclusiveness needs to be there.
Yeah, but it's a core issue, as Biren Singh ji has spoken to me in one of the interview when he spoke to me when he came to Delhi. So yes, that's a core issue. That integrity is a core issue. Other issues can be dealt within the framework of Manipur.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Yes.